Great. Do you want to kick it off, David?
Good morning, everybody. This is the First Friday Forum brought to you by the Greater Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce with our eminent president and chair, Stephanie Immelman, who is our leader. And this morning, we're going to have Stephanie introduce our speaker. So Stephanie, could you please introduce our eminent speaker, which we're delighted to have come address us.
Sure. So I'm very excited that we're able to have Angela Burns, which is one of our newly elected city commissioners, on today. Angela is a longtime educator in Palm Beach County Schools. She's got a master's in education from Nova University. She served on our city's education board for years, and obviously she's recently elected city commissioner. And as you can imagine, education is one of her top priorities. She's especially passionate about funneling the local talent that we have in our community to high-paying jobs, such as in the construction or automotive sectors, to help bolster our local economy. She and I have talked about that in the past. Today, she's going to share a little bit about her background, her priorities, and the city priorities. So I'm going to stop the share so you can see her on screen, and we'll turn it over to Angela.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Angela.
Yes.
Good morning.
All right, so my background, basically, I mean, you did a great job of giving my background. As you said, I am a 59-year resident of Delray Beach. My family goes back to 1909. I worked in the Palm Beach County School District for the last 34 years, working with age groups from kindergarten to around 9th grade. However, I did work with the high school students as a sponsor, but I've been active in the community for all of my adult life. I don't remember when I wasn't. Just doing what I can to help those that are less fortunate, working on different organizations. I belong to many organizations. My sorority, Delta Sigma Theta, we are very active in the community in Delray Beach and in Palm Beach County. The Set Neighborhood Alliance, my church that I've been a member of for the last 46 years. Just very active in the community. I taught my last 12 years at Village Academy, which is located in the Set. It's a Title I school. So, you know, I got to work with children and families who are less fortunate and who are just suffering. You know, Village Academy is I think is 98% free and reduced lunch. So working with a very special population of children. As a reading specialist, I got an opportunity to work one-on-one with students who were experiencing reading difficulties and passing the state required test. So that's basically, you know, a little bit of background of what I've done over the last 34 years here in Delray Beach. Mother of 3, grandmother of 3, owner of 2 dogs that are sitting here protecting me while I'm on this call. And basically that's it.
So we wanted to hear from you today a little bit about your priorities as a new city commissioner. So we can have an idea of what your passions are, what you want to work on, and how the chamber can help you with that.
Well, as I talked about during my campaign, of course, public safety comes number one. I think that, you know, everyone feels comfortable and, you know, we have a beautiful city and we want to feel comfortable in our city and safe. So public safety is one of the number one items. And of course, as you said, education. You know, for 34 years, I've worked with education and we have just seen it go, you know, COVID just put a dent. We already were behind the 8 ball, in my opinion, and then COVID just added to some of the situations that we have. And now, you know, public education is suffering. You know, we have teachers who are afraid to teach, people not knowing which way to turn. But I am really passionate about preparing our residents for high demand jobs. We need a career a pathway to create career pathways. One of the things that I am working on, I've worked with some local contractors, and I know that some of the commissioners in the past have attempted to do this, but working with contractors to hire and train some of our high schoolers. We're working with age 18 and 20 to maybe 29 to hire some of these young people to train, have an apprenticeship, and to have them a career and make them viable in our community. So I've been working with some of the local contractors, and right now there's 4 young people that are out there that are training, working with some of the contractors that are working on the Sunday project. And I'm gonna track that to make sure that they stay where they are. But it's a great program. It looks like it's going to work. As I said, I'm not the first to do this. I think a couple of other commissioners have tried to do this and it went by the wayside, but I would really like to, stay with it, followed up, get out there recruiting more young people to see if we can't get people. So I think in that sense, the chamber could help. Just looking for opportunities for apprenticeships for young people, to give them those, to create these pathways, because not everybody is a college bound student, and we don't have that here in Delray. I know that we're working on Old School Square, no, Village Center, not yet open yet. Really interested in finding out, what's the intention with that. So I have some meetings set up with the district to talk to the district about, what the intentions are. And then there's a town hall meeting coming up soon with a school board rep. So just to try to get some direction on where we're going with that, to bring those kinds of high demand training so that we can have that for our youth.
So tell me a little bit more about the upcoming town hall meeting. What is that?
That is a town hall meeting that is being set up by, I'm not really sure who's organizing it, but I do know that School Representative Edward Ferguson will be there. I think that Commissioner Borson will be there as a speaker. I'm looking for the flyer as I speak, but it's a town hall meeting that is being called by an organization. So let me just look it up, and we can keep talking, and then I'll give you that information.
Okay, well, don't worry. I'll have Sarah look that up right now, and she can put it in the chat. So there's a few meetings that are coming up from the city that we'll be mentioning. So we'll put that in the chat for everyone to know.
Okay.
So something that you and I talked about when we met recently, it is this particular subject with respect to trying to funnel the local talent we have into high-paying careers that don't necessarily require a college degree. And something that the chamber's working on with the Palm Beach County School Board. So you mentioned Edwin Ferguson, he's been involved from the beginning, and Dr. Jermaine Johnson, she's also involved, as well as Denai Bowens, who's our education director. We're trying to pull together a group of automotive dealers, which we did recently in a meeting, and we're having another meeting in a week or so. They are in desperate need for high school graduates or people about to graduate to flow into their training programs, which they will train them for any types of jobs. So they need people obviously in mechanics and sales and accounting and project management at all the dealerships. And I don't know if a lot of people are aware, but when you drive down Federal Highway, you will be, Delray Beach has almost every car dealership represented because they weren't allowed to be in Boca. So Delray has all the car dealerships. It's one of our largest employers in our community. And the jobs that they create are extremely lucrative, high-paying jobs. So the mechanic jobs are not changing tires and changing oil. They're tech jobs now.
Right.
And These are tech jobs that don't require a college degree. So this is a program that we've just started working on, and we definitely would love your support on to try to develop the funnel for the students through Atlantic High School and other organizations, and even Carver, to get them interested in these type of jobs and give them tours. And we'd even love to have a giant car show with the best and most amazing vehicles, bring them to the campuses with the young mechanics that work on them to get them interested in this line of business.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, that's on my list. I talked to the owners of Greco car dealerships, and that's right in line with what I want, and I would definitely love to work with you on that. Trying to get the word out. You know, I went to the youth groups that are in Delray, went to the churches, you know, to try to recruit interested parties, and it didn't go as well as I would like for it to go, but I did get some interest. And since that time, I've received phone calls. So I'm really excited about that. I would love to work with you on that, on trying to recruit young people to participate in a program like that.
Yeah, that's where we're going to need help. I met with achievement centers about this subject as well. EJS would be a natural fit. And I see that C. Ron Allen's on the call from the Knights of Pythagoras Mentoring Network. So he's got access to a lot of kids that might be interested in this. So C. Ron, you're on the hook for this, just so you know. So Vivian, I see you've got your hand raised. So do you have a question?
I do. I had not so much a question as a comment regarding the Adult Education Center at Historic Carver. It looks like it's going to be open in the fall. And we had Fred Barch, who's the Director of Adult and Community Education for the school district, gave us a tour. It actually gave me a tour on behalf of, I went on behalf of the chamber. I chair the advocacy committee, and we're also very much interested in education and supporting in however we can any efforts to improve education in our community. And one of the things that they currently have going when they're opening the new buildings is HVAC and electrician training programs that also offer apprenticeship and free tools once upon graduation. And a lot of these programs are free or low cost, right? And one of the things that he was interested, he seems like a visionary, and he would love to see that become a full service center, a very larger type school that is accredited to offer more programs. So I just thought he was a good resource. I thought he was really excited to expand the center with the support. Obviously, you need the support to expand it, but and his vision is that it become fully accredited so that they could offer additional programs. And I think it's a great opportunity for us as a community to support that initiative. And I just wanted to bring that up.
Thank you. Sounds wonderful.
Yes, and you've been obviously working on the Historic Carver Center. So that's something that's of great interest, not only to the community, but the business community as well. We definitely want to provide that learning center because all of our large businesses, health and wellness as a large sector, as I mentioned, automotive and hospitality, are all in need of great candidates. And we have a wonderful pool of candidates that live in our community, because another issue is affordable housing. It all flows in together. So they're looking for people within an hour of drive of Delray Beach, but we have a pool of talent that's right here, that lives right here. So we definitely want to connect that.
And can I, sorry.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to add on building on Stephanie's affordable housing, like what your, thoughts are around that and your, the direction you'd like to go with that.
Yeah, well, that would be my second priority. We need more affordable, attainable housing. We have a wide range of income variables, and what's affordable, what we're saying affordable is not really affordable. And so we are really needing to get more attainable housing for our residents. We're losing all of our essential workers because of lack of affordability and just a place, in numbers. And I know that we're, having a few developments going up. However, the numbers, and in Delray, the land, we're missing the land. So what I would like to see done is for those homes that if we could put more money into homes that we already have, to make them sustainable. And then and some of the properties that the CRA has, if we can dedicate those properties to affordable, attainable housing for our residents. We're teachers, police officers, firefighters, they're all commuting in and not enough places for us to live. So we're going to be looking at properties that the CRA owns, to see exactly where we can place some more affordable housing, and as many as we can that's going to be quality affordable housing for our residents. And I'm on the Affordable Housing Board, and we're just trying to look at ways to make it work for our residents. It's really hard. And just to take down as many barriers as we can with policy and term limits, and just trying to create policy that will be beneficial to our residents as opposed to barriers to our residents.
So I also want to ask you just quickly about the GEO bond that just passed recently. Quite a lot of the work is going to be going to our public safety, which you mentioned is your number one priority. Are there any updates on what's happening with that? I think there was a meeting recently with Hugh Dunkley, the finance director, and Terrence Moore at the field house talking about the budget and what we're working on. So are there any updates?
Not since that time. I know that, ooh, what happened?
You're still here.
Oh, okay. I know that as far as the Office of the City Manager and staff, public spaces, money have been allocated in the budget for public spaces. We have a joint meeting with the CRA and the city. I think it's going to be on the 17th to look at spaces in terms of police department, of where that's going to go. I don't think there's anything to my knowledge that have been finalized on that as of yet. I do know that we have the monies to do our fire station, I think it's, I'm not sure, 114, the one that's on Linton. We finally got the go ahead on that one. But as far as an update on the police department and other, there aren't any other updates to my knowledge.
Yes, well, it just happened. So that's okay.
Yes.
But the fact that the go ahead is happening for the one of the main fire stations, that's excellent.
Yes.
And the joint, that's what we really wanted people to know about, is there's the joint meeting that's coming up on October 17th.
17th, yes.
So we'll get all of those up in the chat, as I mentioned. And we do have that. Thank you. You sent the flyer over. Thank you so much.
I sent the flyer for the town meeting.
Okay, yeah, Sarah's going to put that up in a second. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Okay, so I just wanted to put it out, and thank you, Vivian, for your questions, by the way. I also wanted to mention our government affairs e-blast that goes out monthly that Vivian writes and takes a great deal of time doing so. Obviously, she's talked quite a bit about education. This month, she talked about the legislative agenda that's happening in Tallahassee, and it's a very quick legislative agenda. They're starting now because the session starts in January. So this year is a January start, so everyone's starting early. I was wondering if there are any appropriations requests that are coming from the city that we need to advocate for. That's something that the chamber also does. Like I said, I met with the achievement centers in the past. We've written letters for Delray Beach Historical Society and for the city's appropriations requests. So do you know through our lobbyists if we have any appropriations requests going to Tallahassee?
No, I'm not aware of that. I have not. I only met our lobbyists, but the conversation did not include if we are asking for appropriations. I'm not really sure. I wouldn't be able to answer that accurately.
That's
Not
okay.
aware
We
of
work
that.
closely with Jeff Orris on those issues, so we'll continue to work with him. Our advocacy committee that Vivian leads is on top of that most of the time. So we always do
And
advocate for whatever the city
I'm
wants.
putting that on my list.
Okay. Oh no, I would hate to see your to-do list. I would hate to see it. I know. That's incredible. So, so those are the questions that, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I just try to stay in the loop with everything and just get as much information as I can. I'm always researching and looking for information. So I will put that on my list because, you know, I would like to know if there's an update on it. I would like to know that information as well. So I appreciate you mentioning it.
Yeah, that's important. We've been thinking about the session in Tallahassee, and that's important to a lot of our businesses here. So, all right, so thank you, Vivian, for your question. I just wanted to open it up because we have about 5 more minutes. Is there anyone that has any questions specifically for Commissioner Burns? I know Michael Weiner always does. Go ahead.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
So I know before you were elected, you attended many of the commission meetings and were involved in government. But now that you're sitting on the commission, what do you find most surprising about looking into the the wheels of government? Are there things that you found different than you thought you would find once you were sitting up on the dais?
Well, it's all a surprise to me. You know, the information, you know, all of the information that you get, but just sitting, listening on the commission side, it's just very interesting to hear comments from our community, the expectations of the community, you know, and it's not always black and white. There's always a little gray area. I do feel that, you know, at some point, I hear a lot about, you know, what we can't do, what we can't do, what we can't do. You know, as a citizen before the commission, but as a commissioner, I'm focusing on and thinking about things of how can we help the community do, you know, let's give the community things that they can do. You know, I sit and I listen to some of the presentations, and you know, we have a list of, you know, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. And even though, you know, I like to work within boundaries. I like to work within our comp plan, and I think it's a great comp plan. But I still think that there's on a positive side to allow to let our residents know what they can do. It just seems like, you know, it's, and I don't want to say it's negative, but it seems like it's opposite of the things that we can do. So I sit and I look and think about, you know, okay, so how can we help this along the way? How can we help our residents instead of, you know, can't. So let's get a list of cans, can do's. So it's very interesting to, you know, to hear the perspectives and the way that you can roll things out in a positive manner.
Let me follow up with one quick question. So, you know, we've all been lucky enough, those of us who've been in Delray for a while, to see how the city blossomed and how values went up. And of course, it led to our affordable housing situation. The funny thing is that obviously first it happened on the north end of town, which is generally speaking white. And now in the last decade, it's happened on the south side of town and towards I-95, which is generally speaking black. You have roots in that community. What do they say now that they're on the radar? Now that the houses are approaching $1 million in their area? Auburn Trace Nobody ever went back to Auburn Trace. And now all of a sudden, I think it could be a market rate apartment in a moment, heartbeat. What does everybody think?
Well, people are actually afraid. People are actually afraid that they're being priced out. Property taxes are going, the property taxes are going up, the insurance are going up. So it's really, and then incomes aren't going up. So it's really, people are in a state of uncertainty. Am I going to continue to be able to live here? Before any food is purchased, any gas is purchased, taxes are being paid. So even though their property values are going up, people are still feeling the squeeze of, am I going to be able to remain here?
Well, we had one of the first walking streets in Palm Beach County, maybe one of the first walking streets in all of America that was such a great success. We would like to have an upscale neighborhood that's not gentrified and be the first in the United States to do that. So the chamber is here to help those people. They want to come and talk to us. We don't hear from them enough. We'll have them wander in our doors, and let's see if we can develop some programs to be first again. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you.
That was great. It was great.
I'm done.
Michael, you're done. You didn't ask your question.
He likes to pontificate.
I'll ask it for Michael then.
Go ahead.
Commissioner Burns, speaking of affordable housing and the comp plan, one thing that was always discussed as a possibility would be increasing the density, which would mean we're changing the LDRs to allow further height in the downtown area to promote some apartments that'd be more affordable. What's your position on that?
Oh, my position on height, I think that for the most part, the residents of Delray have spoken very loudly and very clearly about height in certain areas of our town. I think I would definitely support the height limits that have already been implemented down the Atlantic Avenue corridor. I know that, we're trying to preserve our village by the sea, and in certain areas, I think I would continue to support height limits. In other areas of our city, that may consider some height some bigger, higher density, but down the Atlantic corridor, my thing is, I'm a representative of the residents. So what the residents are and the taxpayers are requesting, I would have to take that into consideration. And so I would be on the side of what the residents wanted in terms of that. I think that we could do some higher density in other areas of our town, but for the moment, and things change. This is liquid, things change, and we have to change with the time. So I would definitely make sure that I'm listening to those people who elected me to be in the chair to represent them.
Okay, fair enough. What about downtown, outside the downtown area and North and South Federal Highway?
Well, as I said, times are changing, and if that requirement, if it necessitates to do that, I would be, you have to be able to move. You can't want something and then not be able to move to make that happen. So working with the commission and working with the residents, if we saw that was the only way, then I would have to support that. But we would definitely, research all possibilities and see that there was no other way that we could do that. I'm just for good government, whatever makes sense and whatever works for the people, that's what I support.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so do we have any other questions for Commissioner Burns before we get to our reports? No? Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Burns.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We're always so honored to have you. And thank you for your continued support, especially with respect to education and providing a stream for our workforce. That's something that we really love to partner on. So we're happy to have you on there. We'll keep working with you on it.
And I thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to come on to speak with you this morning. And definitely, I will be making myself more visible with the chamber. Michael, I'm coming down and trying to bring some people with me so that we can work together to see how we can make things another first, as you say. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. Can you put your contact information, please, Ms. Burns, in the chat so I can reach out to you offline
Sure.
about a project I'm working on
Sure.
involving literacy? Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Harold. I'm glad to see you today.
Yeah, same, Stephanie.
So before I turn it over to David for our city reports, I'm going to put Rob Evans on the spotlight very quickly. So Rob Evans is our new Economic Development Director for the city, and he and I had a great meeting this week to talk about the things that the city and the chamber are going to be working on. A couple of them, and I'll let him expound upon it. One is Michael Weiner's brainchild, which is a forum called Delray Beach 2050. We want to pull a forum together that addresses affordable housing, transportation, what are jobs going to look like in 2050? You know, what do we need to get in the pipeline for that? And Rob's worked on these things before. We'll be able to provide some very interesting speakers from all over Florida and maybe further afield. He was also very interested in his last job. He loves to visit businesses. He loves to go out with a strike team and kind of like we do with the We Heart small business events, to have a team to go to our small businesses to let them know what resources they have that are available from the city and the CRA and the chamber. And one of the things he's really interested in is a possible tech roundtable that we're thinking of initiating. In doing so, we would develop educational opportunities for the entire membership. You know, AI comes to mind of something that people would love to learn about, but also include maybe field trips and visits to the Levon Center at Nova University. You know, as you know, we had them on as a speaker at a First Friday Forum, and maybe visit a smart city such as Coral Gables, which is the true definition of how a smart city works. So I'm going to hand it over to Rob so he can tell you a little bit about his background and some of the plans that we have.
Hi, my name is Rob Evans. I'm the Economic Development Manager for the City of Delray. And yeah, I had a great meeting with Stephanie. And so we were kind of brainstorming and thinking of some things that we could, I could get involved in and help support the community. So we're looking at, creating a forum for technology. And that's something that I've done in the past in Broward County. I come from Broward County, working at the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance and Career Source Broward as well. So in that role, I basically was working on a lot of forums for construction companies. I was working in building trades with apprenticeship programs and developing those apprenticeship programs to the Department of Education and getting them registered and then approved by Career Source for the funding that we could apply, and then creating those funnels as well. And I had a lot of ideas in terms of how we could create that funnel for the auto dealerships that you have here in Delray Beach, which, we had a lot of, we would identify a lot of mentors that were in that specific trade, and then we would actually have them go out to high schools and speak about, the career track that they had and tell their story. And I think through storytelling, we were really able to begin to generate a pipeline, because we weren't just selling a curriculum, we were selling an actual individual and a mentor that could actually share their story. So that was very helpful. So that was something that I was interested in talking to you about, Stephanie, offline, but like finding those mentors and those good speakers in building trades, in the dealership, that are the mechanics that we could get in front of the high school students. I think that would generate a lot of interest and buzz, especially when they tell everybody their salary that they're making and the track. And then I've done a lot of business outreach and retention in Broward County for all the different cities where we would do visitation and outreach, assembling teams that we would have, recruiting services to offer them. We would have grant services, local grants, federal grants, and even banks would be involved, and we'd go out and we'd visit and we would try and understand the companies that we met with and the employers, like what were their pain points, how could we help them grow, how could we retain them, and basically assembling a team of people. And a lot of times they didn't know a lot of the services were available. They didn't understand that there were grants that they could tap into for developing their incumbent workers. There was a lot of no-cost recruiting services available. There was tax incentives. There was all different types of incentives that we would create, bring together to create real good value for these businesses. So I led that program on the Bravo Action Team at the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance, and I'd be happy to start up a team that we do visitations in Delray and really get to know the business owners and the employers here and see how we can help connect them to the institutions and to the universities and help them to develop their talent. So
we're all in.
Yeah, I know this is going to take time, but it's great to be here, and I'm happy to help. So
Thank you, Rob. Thanks so much.
thank you.
So David, I'll turn it over to you to call on our partners for their quick updates.
Sure. Thanks, Stephanie. I see Renee. I assume that's Renee Jadiston on the phone. Is that you?
If I don't have a twin, or maybe it is me.
Okay. Usually you have your title on your
Oh.
so
No, it's me.
CRA, Director of the CRA, please.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So a few updates. Yesterday, the CRA had our third CRA social. If you haven't been there, I definitely encourage you to come. We have really great spirited conversations. We're trying not to do it as kind of like us standing and talking, more of a conversational discussion, and kind of let the conversation go where it may. Spirited, it's fun. I really enjoy it. I think it helps people to get a better understanding of CRAs, what we do and who we are. That's the purpose of it. We want people to get to know us a little bit more on a personal level. And through that, I think we'll be able to share some of the work that we're doing at the CRA. So we had one yesterday that talked about development on West Atlantic Avenue. We had a survey that I'm going to share in the link because I want to keep getting feedback and input on just future development in West Atlantic. We don't have anything really set out in stone yet, but we want to start getting feedback and input as we start looking to the West Atlantic properties. And as Commissioner Burns had mentioned, there is a joint workshop with the city and CRA boards on October 17th at 4 p.m. So there has been talk recently about the location of the police station, location of the fire station, and both the city and CRA all have properties very close to each other on West Atlantic Avenue. So we thought it'd be a good idea for the commissioners to all share their thoughts and what their feelings are on the location of these public spaces so that the staff will know, kind of the direction that we're going in the future. So please, come by or tune in. It's going to be at City Hall on October 17th. So the next CRA social, though, we are probably planning sometime in December. And I think just based on the conversations I heard last night and other recent meetings that I've had, I think we need to have like a CRA basics, kind of like 101, what CRAs are able to do, what our CRA does, and how our role has changed over the time. There has been changes to the statutes in 2019. And these presentations and talks are happening all over the state. And I just want to make sure locally that our constituents here understand what we are doing, what's going on with the CRAs statewide. So that's the CRA socials. Also, we just passed our budget for the upcoming fiscal year, which is currently started October 1st. I'll put a summary sheet in the chat box. I think the biggest highlight is that we have set aside $40 million for the Pompey Park project, which is currently out to bid for phase 1. So the project is happening. I know it's taken quite some time, but it is happening. It's funded. The project is estimated at $44 million, and we have $44 million in cash ready to spend on this project. So look forward to having that started hopefully in the next year or so. Also, this Saturday is Crafted on the Avenue. That's our open air market that we started on at Libby Wesley Plaza for crafters and makers who would want to come and spend or, sell their goods. People can come by and spend funds and invest in our local businesses. That's happening this Saturday at Libby Wesley Plaza from 1 to 4. Also, the Green Market is coming back. This is the 28th season of the Winter Green Market happening at the Old School Square campus. So please come by, celebrate with us. We're excited to have our 28th year, and we look forward to many, many more. Thank you.
Thank you. It's going to be a big Saturday because you can go to Crafted on the Ave, and as soon as that ends, the bed races are taking place. And as soon as that ends, there's a big concert as part of our Do Good Delray fundraiser. The concert starts at 7:30 p.m. I'm going to be in town all Saturday. Everybody should come out. Sorry, go ahead, David. Thank you, Renee.
So Renee, I'd like to ask you, what happened to that container project down in 9th, I think it's 9th Street on West Atlantic? Is that dead?
Not dead. It's still in our plans. We actually put funding into that project. We have to bring it to the board. I think what we need to do is kind of set some prioritization of what we're doing with these projects and what we have. Since we just started the fiscal year, our first board meeting for the start of the fiscal year is going to be on November 16th. So what I'm thinking is that we'll probably set some priorities of the order of what we want to do and how we want to attack these projects. But there are funds in our budget this year for that project. But I would say stay tuned to November 16th to hear, what order and how we want to attack these projects when we speak with our board about it.
Okay, then you can update us on December 1st Friday Forum.
Exactly, I will. Thank you.
Terrific. Any questions for Renee?
Well, I think Renee's our guest on the November 1st Friday Forum. I think she's our speaker, right?
Oh, I guess that's right. Okay.
We're going to get a complete update at our next First Friday Forum from Renee. It's the Renee Show in the November meeting. And then in December, we're going to be hearing from Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office on Homeland Security, which will be very interesting. So yeah, you've got the showcase next month.
I have a question for Renee.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Hi, Renee. My name is Carolyn. My question is, you mentioned the Pompey Park project and funds that have been allocated for that. So my question is, I have in mind a neighbor who has a construction company. Are people currently putting in bids to be vendors for this project? And if so, what should I tell my neighbor if they want to get in on that opportunity?
So I would say to check the city's website. So how it works is that the City Public Works Department is the one managing the project and the CRA is providing the funds for it. And it is out to bid through the city's purchasing department. They use BidSync, or I think it's called Periscope now. But if you go on the city's website under the purchasing department, you should find a link to find the bid online.
That's going to be My Delray Beach, something like that. What is the city's website, if you don't mind?
.com. Yeah, sure.
It's mydelraybeach.com or.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't an org.
No, Delray Beach, fl.gov.
Okay, FL. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, thank you, Renee. Look
You're
forward
welcome.
to next month.
Absolutely.
Let's go now to Mary Wozni, City Sustainability Department.
Hey, good morning, everybody. To piggyback off something Renee said, the first Green Market, October 21st, we're also doing a tree giveaway with community greening. So we'll have about 250 native trees to give away to residents of Palm Beach County. Climate and art that we talked about at the last forum went really well this year. We had, people come from all over to participate in that. Thanks to the local businesses that participated, Cornell Museum and Arts Warehouse for letting us hold our lectures there. If anybody missed those lectures, they're available on our YouTube channel. Covered a whole bunch of topics like our greenhouse gas reduction plan, green building ordinance, which for all of you to know goes into effect November 1st also, and we'll be doing outreach on that. Coral reef protection and things like recycling also. Climate action plan, the city sustainability office is working with other departments and our green board on coming up with a climate action plan for the city. Our green board actually sent a memo to commission a couple of months ago, and at the last commission meeting, Kent gave a presentation about possibilities for that. And we are asked to provide some specific details, specific goals for the city. So that's what we'll be working on. And I think that's about it, but I wanted to give a quick shout out to Rob too, because he's in the city manager's office with me. He's a great addition and look forward to collaborating on some projects with him too.
Thank you. Any questions for city sustainability? So we have some people on from the Solid Waste Authority. Does anybody want to say something on behalf of Solid Waste that they're joining us this morning? Welcome. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
I will. I'm Colleen Robbs, the director of the Equal Business Opportunity Office, and our role is to ensure that small and minority businesses have an opportunity to participate in our procurement and contracting. And so we are happy to be here this morning. There were a number of topics mentioned this morning. One was internships. The Solid Waste Authority does have internships that are available for high school students. And if anyone's interested, I can put my information in the chat and we can make sure that it's shared. And I think the internship runs just a couple months. And students are able to work with key staff in learning about who we are and what we do. And also regarding jobs, we're also sort of feeling the challenge of filling vacant jobs, and we need equipment operators and tractor trailer drivers, which are very well paid jobs. So, anyone can go to swa.org and swa.org for that type of information. So we're happy to be here this morning. We are marketing to businesses all over Palm Beach County because we want businesses to know that the Solid Waste Authority is interested in doing business with diverse companies. And we have a program, the EBO program provides preferences in our contracting that gives these types of businesses a little leg up so that they can do business with us. So thank you again. I also like to mention I'm a native of Delray Beach, but I live in Palm Beach County now, but I love Delray. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming. So we are getting short on time. I'd like to run to C-Ron. C-Ron, can you talk to us about Delray Reads on behalf of the DCF and the city?
No pressure. Well, we can.
Okay.
He's there somewhere. But go ahead, David. You're on the Delray Chamber Education Fund Board. So Delray Reads is coming up October 26th. Is that correct?
Yes, that is. And what it is we send the volunteers into the schools to read a book that's been chosen by the city and the schools and the chamber. Our individuals, volunteers go in and there's breakfast in the schools, and each one goes into a classroom and reads the book to the children. So the program is called Delray Reads. It's been going on for, I don't know, 10, 15 years, maybe longer. I'm
18
not
years,
sure.
I believe.
18 years. Wow. Hi. So that's great. So anybody interested in participating, please let us know.
And you can either contact us here at the chamber or through the Delray Chamber Education Fund, and their website is connected to the delraybeach.com chamber website. So definitely we always need readers. So it's a wonderful experience. And I was going to ask Sarah to put. Good. So we're going to wrap it up quickly. Sarah, can you, if you don't mind, go ahead and put the link to the Do Good Delray events in the chat. October is Do Good Delray month. So we're pairing nonprofits with for-profit organizations, and they're having events throughout the month of October as fundraisers for our many nonprofits through our nonprofit council. So if you haven't been to an event yet, there's still plenty of time. There are 2 on Saturday, as a matter of fact, that I'll be at. One is at Casa Manibus to benefit Wayside House, and one is at Old School Square to benefit Potentia Academy for autism. And that's going to be a concert with the Turnstiles, which is a Billy Joel tribute band. And I've seen them several times in Delray Beach. They're fabulous. So those are 2 going on Saturday. But if you would go ahead and check out delraybeach.com, you pull down the events drop down, and all of the Delray, Do Good Delray events are listed there throughout the month of October. You can do Fall at the Farm. There's a farm out, the Herd Foundation runs the farm out off Military in Lake Ida, which is an amazing event. There's all kinds of happy hours and lunches and activities. So please go check out Do Good Delray. That is the main thing the Chamber's got going on for the month of October.
Isn't there
And
one
that's all I
tonight,
have.
Stephanie? Isn't there one tonight?
Probably.
Yes,
Smiles
there
for
is one
Miles?
tonight.
Smiles for
Yes.
Miles?
It's Smiles for Miles. It's I think it's at the Aloft, and it
Yes.
benefits health dental care for people, for children all over the world, which is amazing. So lots coming up. That's all I have. Did you want to close it out, David?
Yes, let's have a great Friday and weekend, and please come to our Smiles for Miles and all our other great events that all benefit the not-for-profits that make our town really great. So thank you very much, and see you next month in November for Renee Jadispow from the Delray CRA.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you again,
Thanks.
Commissioner Burns.
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good